Lawmakers are working to crack down on cell phone use in schools. A bill was just passed in the Ohio Senate requiring schools to have a policy in place limiting cell phone use in school.
Maureen Kyle sat down one-on-one with Governor Mike DeWine about why he's made this a priority and what other states are doing now. Good afternoon, Maureen.
Good afternoon. Hot topic here. House Bill 250 is just one step away from the governor's desk. It passed the state Senate last week and is back in the House for a concurrent vote. If it passes, which it seems likely it will, he's made it clear cracking down on phones in schools is a priority. I sat down with the governor last week to talk about why he supports this as a law. His State of the State address talked a lot about kids and education, and that's where he said he supports a cell phone ban in schools. Now, we talked a lot about why exactly this should be legislation, because a lot of criticism is that maybe it should just be a guideline instead. But he says this legislation still leaves a lot of decision making up to the individual districts. If passed, it would require the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce to create a model policy. Now, this way, schools have a jumping off point and they can just copy that model or come up with their own policy. Now, let's talk about when cell phones would be allowed, because there are exceptions. If the cell phone is needed as a learning tool or if it's necessary for a student's health, the student is allowed to use their cell phone.
Now, Maureen, we know Ohio is not the only state here with passed or even proposed laws. What are some other states doing when it comes to cell phones in schools?
Like I said, this is a hot topic. This is something that pretty much every state is looking at, some sort of ban. Florida is the first state to ban cell phone use during class. It's now also a law in Indiana that students cannot use their cell phones during instructional time. And across Northeast Ohio, most school districts are looking at putting policies in place by fall. Next week, we're going to go in depth about what this means for all students, their safety and their mental health. And of course, safety, Laura, is what most parents, teachers, and school administrators are most concerned about.
Which is huge. And when we talk about this, there are parents who completely differ on what they think. And every parent obviously has an opinion. So like you said, a hot topic. We appreciate it. Maureen Kyle, thanks.